Hi, I'm Cheryl, and we're here at the Amon Carter Museum of American Art with Cooped Up at the Carter. We're going to be talking about Louise Nevelson's sculpture Lunar Landscape behind me. Her family immigrated from Kiev, Russia. Nevelson saw beauty in discarded objects when roaming around her father's junkyard. This sculpture behind me is an assemblage of recycled materials that she collected by walking through her neighborhood in New York City. What do you see when you look at this sculpture? Are there any objects that you recognize?
Hi, my name is Diane, and this is Dusty. I was a Carter community artist during the 2018-2019 season at the Carter Museum. Today on Cooped Up with the Carter, we're going to be making an assemblage out of recycled or found materials while we look at Louise Nevelson's Lunar Landscape. Okay, so today what we're going to be working with is just stuff that we found around the house. I'm going to use this plastic to-go container with cat hair on it. I just cleaned it out really good so there wasn't any oil left, but you could use a box or a shoebox, the lid of a shoebox, or even a flat piece of cardboard if you wanted to. And then I just found some stuff in the recycling bin, in the junk drawer, a bottle cap, found a straw. I found a lot of things that were in circles, so that's going to be kind of my theme. I also have this toilet paper roll, and I may cut it, so I've got my scissors. And then when we're done, I'm going to paint mine black, but you could either leave it without painting it, or you could paint it different colors if you wanted to. I've also got a hot glue gun nearby, but you could use Elmer's glue or really any white glue. It just might take longer to dry. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to start placing objects in here and see if I like the way things look. You can put stuff however you want. You could redo it. So I'm not going to glue just yet. So I'm going to build this. There's Griffin. He's going to come help us for a minute. Louise Nevelson often had a lot of repeating shapes, but she also left kind of gaps and holes so we could kind of see what was happening within negative space. And if you're using a bigger shoebox, maybe you want to use a paper towel roll instead. Okay, I'm still not exactly sure how this is going to turn out, but I think it's time to start gluing. And again, if you're using white glue, it might just take a little bit longer to dry, so that's okay. And if you need to get an adult to help you with some of this, that's okay too. Okay, so now we're ready to paint. So I don't need this anymore. I'm using just black acrylic paint. You could use any kind of acrylic paint. You do want it to be a little bit thicker so that it can cover all these different types of materials. And I'm using black partly because Louise Nevelson used a lot of black in her work, but also because my container is black, so that's just less for me to paint. So I have my brush, any kind of brush will do. A little bit of water. A smaller brush can help get in the place some of these tiny little areas. But you may also want to remember some of these items, like the paper clips that I added, might be kind of delicate too. So you don't want to paint too hard. You could also paint using multiple colors if you wanted to. Maybe choose your favorite colors. Or you could collect items knowing that you like the colors that they already are, and you can just leave it the way it is. All right, so I'm finished painting everything black, at least I think I am. I'm gonna go ahead and let this coat dry and then see if there are any spots I missed. Sometimes when you're painting different surfaces like plastic and metal, the more paint you put on, it ends up just taking it back off. So I'm gonna let this dry a little bit, and then we'll see if there's a few spots I need to touch up. All right, well, I think my touch-up is complete. I'm gonna wash my brush, put some water here so we don't ruin it, and make sure that I rinse out my cup and dispose of that properly. What do you think, Griffin?